It is Andreas Kron, number 33 from Lotto Soudal, who's made it across. And from Trek Segafredo, number 26 is Matthias Vacek, the man we spoke about before, the transfer during the season from the Gazprom team across to Trek Segafredo, a winner of a stage in the UAE Tour. Here he is.
He's having a really good end to the season. Of course, just as he had that excellent start to the season, still only 20 years of age as well. Now then, here we go. Oh, wow. More arriving. Bike Exchange is suddenly involved. And the young rider we talked about from the team we hardly see on our screens. I keep having to look down for the full name. General Store SGB. And it's the young Francesco Busato in the green jersey right at the back there. Ulissi joins, so now that's 4 from UAE. And again, even as we were talking about the evolving situation, it evolves again.
Yeah, there he is, number 2. Ulissi on the back of the group here. Bike Exchange is Kevin Coglioni, the man we said most likely to be the team leader today for Bike Exchange, Jayco. Second last position. There is young Busato. And a big chase group also coming from behind. So it looks like they're going to get back on terms, and we're going to, it looks like, I think, swell to something around 25 riders that'll come together at the head of the race. As long as they keep pushing on and close the gap, but they were quite close behind.
There's a lot
just
looking
going to
around
pan back and get a look at that group, which, yep, there they are. They are going to make it. And does it have Davide Rebellin in the group?
Well, I think von Marke is at the back of the group. That would mean there's no Rebellin, but he was very much in contact until the last few kilometres, wasn't he? This is the next group coming back. The Italian champion Zana is there. In fact, it's not von Marke, it's the former Israeli champion, actually, who's there for Israel Premier Tech, and that is Omer Goldstein, who's a really fast finisher. Vujamo gets back in as well. And there's one rider from Euro Cometa as we look to Zana. So this is the situation, heading to the Diesel Farm. Of course, Italian fashion brand that became famous the world over, one of the sponsors of this race. It's from this region. So I imagine we're going close to the headquarters. I imagine that's the reason for the name, but we'll get a good look when we get there. Looking down that road, can't see any more groups about to make contact yet.
Corona Vermeersch, pretty keen to work within the group as well. Aldani, Coglioni. And then a bit of looking around behind. Diego Ulissi is the man out of the saddle from UAE.
Interesting to see what teams with not so many numbers do here. Who does the work and who doesn't. Who's intelligent. Because I guess positioning is going to be really important once you get to that climb again, if it's what we imagine it to be. It's the first look we're going to have of it. Of course, a bit of gravel road, off-road sort of stuff. If you're on your own, though, you'd think you'd be looking after your own opportunities to be in the right place at that time, wouldn't you?
Yep, certainly would. Zana here, the Italian champion, sitting himself at the back of the group. Bike Exchange rider behind him, and he is off to Bike Exchange next season, the Italian champion. And Mark Hirschi here, number 5. Just feathering it a little bit, so not going through full force. Just making sure things keep rolling. And they're back in a position now, UAE, after really shaking things up on that last lap around the Latiza circuit. They've got the numbers. Here is Ulissi. Further back, Davide Formolo. Trentin also in the group.
Now then, what happens? Still a
well,
little
the question
too
is,
much
do
looking
they
around, isn't there?
Yeah, well, do they use those numbers again? They went on a flatter part of the circuit and went on the attack. It was Hirschi, then it was Formolo. And then Trentin used the hill to come across. So UAE have been quite willing to go on the attack.
This time it looked like Ulissi was just following, didn't it? It was Conchi who went. Ulissi followed, looks around. There he is wearing number 2. 84 just behind is Davide Gaburro. And now then, here we go. You talked about it, Robbie, and here it is. It is Matteo Trentin being followed by Vacek. Scaroni wants to be in the move again, as does Formolo. And UAE want to make sure that it's not just the one rider they have up there. It's all about strengthening numbers for them.
Yeah, if you've got the numbers, then you don't want one rider in a group of 4, 5 or 6. Then you always want to be following that next counter attack, getting the free ride across. But they've been quite willing to go on the attack on the flat. They've looked the strongest uphill, but they've also just been incredibly aggressive right throughout on these laps that we've been doing. So they've left Letizia behind on the way to Diesel Farm. But plenty of attacking on the flatter sections of this course.
It's Oldani this time as we come through Marostica again. And now here she follows.
And already the signal, yep, let's start swapping turns. Everybody go around. He's made a big one-out attack, and immediately the sign, it's even more out there than the flick of the elbow.
Past the Castello Inferiore we come in Marostica. A little bit of road furniture to make sure that you don't just lose a gap on those in front. Everything's still together though, as there's the look around. Both Vermeersch and Kron representing Lotto. That was Vermeersch on the left-hand side there. Both Alpecin de Koning and UAE have attacked in the last couple of moments. This is Conchi who launched the first attack. 12 kilometers to go. And we all know that Jumbo-Visma have been the team that have won more races than anyone else, but UAE can equal them today. Of course, Quick Step out of a vinyl always up there as well, becoming the big three in terms of number of wins this year. Last road race on European soil here. We know that Jumbo-Visma as a team have already finished their activity for this year.
Well, the top of the Diesel Farm comes with around 6 kilometres to go, and the climb itself, again, not all that long. The actual climb itself, 1.3 kilometres, an average gradient of 11%, and a maximum, well, actually hard to tell on this graphic, but something around 14% is the maximum gradient, and it looks like it's off-road all the way up, Rob, if I'm not mistaken from what I've seen.
And
so
more
far,
or less all the way down as well, from what I can judge. I mean, we haven't yet seen it on any pictures, because we're just going across and off what we've had in road books and things like that, and profiles, but this is the first time we're going to see it raced, and it's going to be interesting. So off-road up and down, apparently, at what's been named the Diesel Farm, home to the worldwide brand of fashion that comes from this part of the world.
Well, you wouldn't expect too many paved roads on a farm either, would you?
Now then, through the farm gates.
Through the farm
Here
gate.
we go. The Diesel Farm climb, as the dust is kicked up, the final climb of this Veneto Classic, the final climb that's categorised anyway of the European road season. With one little lump on our way into town after this, and you can see the Swiss rider from UAE, remember, looking to equal Jumbo-Visma on all that list of victories this year, is Mark Hirschi. 4 riders from them in. We've already seen that Eolo Kometa have had riders up there throughout most groups, just one left in here. Conchi on the right-hand side for Alpecin de Koning, and he's desperately trying to fight for the front and spring things out. And, well, it is more like just an off-road climb, isn't it, rather than anything that is producing surprises. But it's hard enough, isn't it, this? Remember, 1.3 kilometres long, 9.6%. And gaps opening,
definitely
Rob.
hard enough. Look at the splits happening here already. Mark Hirschi. And is it Conchi?
Conchi left-hand side, yes, in the blue jersey. Italian, who was very, very good on Wednesday in the Giro del Veneto. Alpecin de Koning, we talked about teams being good at the start, in the middle of the year, and at the end, like UAE. Alpecin de Koning, not necessarily as stage racers, but as stage winners. Now challenging the likes of Quick Step, a team that's done this sort of thing for the last 10 years. And look at Conchi go. We've already seen how good they are off-road in these gravel races we've been having. Gianni Vermeersch, the world champion,